Hey everybody and welcome to a new video about the One Piece anime. Today I want to talk about the specifics of One Piece changing its art style over the years. And by art style, I'm not talking about the compositing or colors, I'm talking about the fundamental elements of an anime, the character designs and animation supervision. This is one of the most important and defining roles in any anime out there, to the point where it's a make or break for any series. Sometimes the designs are very detailed and complex, which results in tougher destiny for the series' animation. Some can be charming and simplistic, allowing more flexibility with movement. There are also designs that sit in the middle, not too complex, but also not extremely loose. But just following the designs isn't enough. You need a competent chief animation director who is most of the time the character designer himself. If you don't accomplish that, no matter how good the designs are, the show won't look good with bad animation supervision. So now that you got a brief idea about this, let's get into the stages of One Piece's art style over the years. The very first character designer and chief animation director for One Piece anime was Noboru Koizumi. He is responsible for the nostalgic and charming designs every One Piece fan misses. Koizumi's take on Oda's designs was a bit different. The eyes were sharper and less rounded, but the designs were still expressive and exaggeration friendly, which was perfect for Oda's alt style. It feels as if One Piece's art style was even better than the manga thanks to subtle touches by Koizumi. The big range of facial expressions was necessary for a series like One Piece, and Koizumi absolutely nailed that. His animation supervision also ensured consistency, especially when assisted by competent, regular animation directors. His shading complemented Oda's own shading, adding charisma to the characters. You can clearly see that in his model sheets. Additionally, Koizumi's poses added a lot of personality. One of his best qualities was his use of smears for strong impact. That's why even with how limited early One Piece was in movement, the attacks still carried so much weight. Koizumi's own key animation was also remarkable, but after around 400 episodes, just like the Straw Hats took an L, we also took an L. The L of Koizumi stepping out of his role. While people always talk about One Piece's old art style, very few bring it up for the manga. At this point, Oda's own art style has changed over the years, so it was only a matter of time before the anime changed its character designer and chief animation director. This is where Kazuya Hisada took over. Hisada is one of the most prominent names in Toei animation since Dragon Ball. In fact, he was the animation director for the very first One Piece episode. He also supervised some of the most important episodes in the series, and he still works on the anime to this day as a regular animation director. So logically, it made sense for him to take over since he was so familiar with the series. Hisada took over around the Amazon Lily arc, and at this point the difference was clear. The poses, head and forehead sizes, the facial expressions all change. Hisada's designs, while not as good in my opinion, were still far from bad. Very few complained about the art style during Marineford, for example. However, around this time, animation supervision became a legit problem. I assume this is where the series faced many scheduling issues. Prime example is how the current remaster for Fishman Island is modifying and correcting a lot of weird shots. What One Piece needed here was a competent chief animation director. This is where Kiichi Ichikawa saved the day. He joined One Piece at the end of Zou and worked alongside Nagamine on the Heart of Gold special, which featured some of the most polished modern One Piece art. Ichikawa is the reason arcs like Whole Cake Island looked far superior to Dressrosa. His corrections were extremely detailed and charming, and he had a particular liking for Sanji and Germa. He continues to work on One Piece to this day, and he's one of the most valuable assets to it. But during the Wano arc, Midori Matsuda took over as the character designer and chief animation director, but Ichikawa still maintained his role as well. In fact, One Piece now had 2 chief animation directors, and later 3. Matsuda has previously worked on Film Gold, which is one of the best looking One Piece films. Her take on the designs was softer, more rounded, striking a perfect balance that allowed greater animation flexibility. During the Wano arc, Chinese animator Tu Young-soo was promoted to become a 3rd chief animation director. However, his specialty was in battles. He saved many scenes from chaos and corrected inexperienced animators. He took on some of the most difficult episodes in the franchise. Now with Egghead, we still have Matsuda with her role, same with Ichikawa and Tu Young-soo, but Matsuda has modified her own designs to an even softer approach. She is seriously one of the best choices for the role. So in short, with a long-running series like One Piece, big changes will always happen, whether for good or bad, but I hope you now have a closer idea behind the process and history of these changes. Look forward to the next video where I'll further talk about the One Piece remake by which studio, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.